Good day and welcome to SCO BRICS Insight, where we bring you the latest news, information and analysis on what's really going on in the world of the BRICS. Now, recently there was an article that Russia's expecting a bad harvest and the media sounds the alarm. The Western press, citing their special resources, have reported that in 2024 the Russian volume of wheat harvest is expected to fall by between 3.5 million tonnes to 86.6 million tonnes in total. The report with obvious concern that by the end of April the world's stocks of wheat and other grains had fallen to negative record levels from over the past 10 years. Now, though the cost of a bushel is not yet at a historical level, but it's very high and it's not expected to decline. So, what is behind these headlines? Is there any substance in the reports, and should there be a global panic? Now, it seems that Russia's managed to put half of the planet on tenterhooks once again, and the rain across the rich black earth soil of the Russian steppe is causing insomnia and sleepless nights among some major global players. Now, first let's look at the numbers and the proportion to see if there's any justification for any anxiety, never mind panic. Now, last year, global humanity grew 785 million tonnes of wheat, and it consumed 791 million in one form or another. Now, don't be confused by the disproportion. The deficit is covered from reserves accumulated annually in a number of countries, with their huge silos playing a role in the planet's grain bins. Now, there's no exaggeration here. I mean, specifically, Russia ranks third in the world in terms of wheat production. The first and second places are between China and India, which is not surprising given the colossal population figures of both those countries. Now, at the end of last year, China and India both produced 134 and 105 million metric tons of grain respectively. Now, the majority of what the Chinese and the Indians grow is consumed domestically given their huge populations. Now, Russia is currently the third largest wheat producer in the world. Its farmers over the last 2 decades have consistently increased production to record levels. But this year, due to unfavourable weather conditions, as in a very cold and wet start in the spring, this trend has been disrupted. Now, as I previously stated, the forecast indicates that the Russian grain growers will harvest approximately 90 million tonnes of wheat in 2024. Now, this represents a year-on-year increase of about 3 million tonnes, which is commendable. But, and here's the but, Russian farmers have also demonstrated resilience in face of the challenging circumstances. I mean, before, for example, the total grain harvest for 2023 was 142 million tonnes, and that was down from 157 million tonnes in 2022. Now, the total grain harvest amounted to 142.7 million tonnes. That included rye 1.7 million tonnes, down from 2.8 a year earlier. Barley 21.1 million tonnes, down from 23.4. Corn 14.4, down from 15.8. Rice down to 1.6 million tonnes from 920,000 tonnes. Buckwheat 1.5 million tonnes. Oats 3.3 million tonnes, down from 4.5. So there you're getting an idea. Now, as I say, in half of the type of grains, there was a decrease due to the unfavourable weather, with frost causing significant crop destruction in the Tambov, Lipetsk and Voronezh regions. And that led to the declaration of a state of emergency in the agricultural sector. Now, in terms of wheat and grain exports, Russia's the undisputed world leader. I mean, last year its traders sold over 51 million tonnes, and that went abroad. Now that was 17% of global trade in grains. And it's important to figure that refers to exports, not global consumption. Therefore, it's incorrect to claim that every fifth loaf of bread, for example, is Russian. I mean, in 2023, the European Union sold 36.5 million tonnes of wheat, and it became the world's second largest exporter, although it's not a country, it's a region. Now let's look at the wheat issue. as the grain market is pretty vast and complex, and I mean, even to try and summarise the grain market would take me longer than I'm going to do in this video. Now, wheat is not only the queen of the fields, but is also the princess of the market. In terms of financial indicators, wheat ranks 49th in the world trade, and that's out of more than 1,000 other commodity items. In 2022, the total value of contracts for wheat traded amounted to 750 billion. And that's comparable, for example, to trading in liquefied natural gas. And unlike hydrocarbons, the trade vector of which Russia is slowly turning away from Europe to the east, Russia's grain does go to countries which have completely friendly relations. I mean, the largest buyers of Russian wheat are Egypt. They buy 11.9 million tons, Turkey 10.2 million tons, Algeria 3.3 million tons, Saudi Arabia 3.2 million tons, and Iran 3.1 million tons. Now, over the past year, in monetary terms, the core trade with Algeria has gone up by over 3 times, Pakistan 2.5 times, and China has gone up by 78%, so it's not quite doubled. Sudan by 64%, and an increase there. Now, Russian traders have generated over $6 billion from trading in wheat, and that's according to last year's result. And the volume of Russian agricultural exports reached $43.5 billion. But that's still 4 times less than the United States, but the indicators are growing, especially when May frosts don't interfere with the yields. Now, the boundaries of the current grain picture are more or less clear. Let's return to bushels and elevators. Now, Bloomberg reports that due to the crop failure, or partial failure in Russia, which will be compounded by droughts that have taken place in the United States and Australia, as well as prolonged cold rains that have appeared in France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. All of these countries, by the way, are in the top 10 of production. So global wheat stocks have fallen to a 10-year low. Now, the latest figures show that there are 319 million tons of wheat in global storage, which approximately 120 million tons are in China and India, 27 million tons are in the US, 13 million tons in Europe, and 8 million tons in Russia. Now, the reason I'm bringing up this particular story is to point out the absurdity of the media when it reports issues, particularly about Russia and the BRICS. Now, I don't want to denigrate the achievements of Russian farmers. In fact, I've made videos praising their agricultural miracle over there. But I just wanted to illustrate the intricate nature of global relationships and the sensitivity of the world market to even the most seemingly inconsequential events. Now, in the 21st century, it's impossible to remove a key player from the market, be it oil or grain, without causing distortions in world trade, and that leads to not necessarily shortages, but rising prices. I mean, the world is small. It's closely intertwined, and for its measured existence, what it needs is not sanctions and the elimination of competitors, but balanced relations where the interests of all the participants are taken into account and respected. Now, Russia has been implementing this paradigm on the world stage for the last 20 years and has a reputation as a solid and reliable supplier of commodities to global markets. So anyway, I hope this insight into the global grain market, etc., has been interesting for you. Thanks for watching. Do like and subscribe. Go to the website, SCOBRICSinsight.com, for many articles like this one that will inform and educate you about what's going on in the BRICS. And with that, until next time, thank you and goodbye.